Good morning. It's Saturday, November 1st, 2025. My name is Terry Morgan, and we are here to practice and talk about Chinese martial arts philosophy and all of the things that go with practice, teaching, study. I've been emphasizing the experience and perception, the perspective, perspective. I didn't do perception. We hadn't talked about perception yet. Sorry. Perspective. That my experience is not the same as someone else's, that my perspective on things is informed by what I've studied, what I've learned, my experience, and that I would have a different perspective if I had not done the things that I've done, learned the things that I've learned, and tried to study some of the things that I've tried to study. I wouldn't have the same perspective. I wouldn't. That recognition is important for all sorts of practice. When we are practicing, when we're working on whatever it is we're working on, our perspective, our perception, what I see, I've talked about that a little bit. I'm going to talk about it again today. That helps us or not to form an opinion about whatever it is we're seeing. Is that an elephant or not? Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can't see it, so I don't know. Tell me what an elephant's supposed to be, and tell me what you see, and then I can tell you whether or not I think it probably could be an elephant or not. Right? I need to know a few things before I can answer that question. The experience that we gain through practice, through study, informs what we're doing in our practice, in our study. It gives us a perspective, a way of looking at things, a point of view that is different depending on what we've studied, what we've learned, and who we are. That makes a difference too. Cultural background, language skills make a difference. The experience that we have includes much of that. So our personal experience informs how we see something. In developing some things, I sent a video of some people practicing Tai Chi in a park in China. They were doing good. It was nice. It was exhibition day, and then we had a banner up, and it was nice. They were nice. It was well done. Nice music in the background. It was it was good. I've seen hundreds. There's some things I've seen thousands of. I've seen hundreds of those kinds of demos. Yeah. So I sent that to someone who was working with me, and he looked at it. That's great. I've never seen anything like that. He hadn't. It wasn't great. It was pretty good, but it wasn't great. He didn't have that experience. How was he supposed to know that this is common? You can go to any, used to be, I haven't been there in a few years. You go to any park in China first thing in the morning, and there will be dozens of groups practicing different types of Tai Chi and other forms of martial arts. You have to go early. You have to go early. But it's common. Again, it was. I can't speak to today and what's going on today. When I was there in the 90s and back in the early aughts, it was common. That experience, having seen some of that, informs my practice. My friend seeing it for the first time, this is great. I've seen dozens, hundreds. Yeah, it's pretty good. Different perspective. All right. The other thing that I did today was this. And we are going to do some movement practice here in just a minute. I'm going to review a couple of things. And yeah, I'll get there. All right, so going to the park first thing in the morning, right? That's pretty much it. That was, and my point is, someone sees me, and they look at what I'm wearing, and they look at me, and they don't see someone who's practiced martial arts for 40 years going to meet their teacher. Um, I look like a kind of a scruffy tourist. A little bit. It wasn't a dress up class. We practiced in the park, but it wasn't dress up class. The option to get something nice for tournament, oh, absolutely. And one of these days, I'm going to put this back on, and I'm going to teach class with this. All right, this is one of my silks. It looks real nice when I'm wearing it too. And it is something that I wore as a competitor. As a judge, I was more the sports shirt and regular pants and shoes, not any kind of fancy uniform kind of thing. The perception, the perspective that I have says, doesn't matter. It's what I'm going to do that is going to matter, not what I'm wearing. Okay. If I need to have a costume for performance, I've got one. I've got several actually. I've got that. Performance and practice are not the same. I've talked about that extensively. All right, so finally, wrapping up this little segment here, my perspective on what I'm doing, my experience, the things that I've learned, all of that combines for me to be here today. I bring it with me. It comes, and everybody else does too. That is part of what we have to learn if we're going to advance. If we don't come to some understanding of what we're doing on multiple levels, we can't advance. It won't happen. If we don't know the physiology and the basic physics of the human body, physiology, how my body works, if I don't know that, I'm not going to get very far. If I don't pay attention to the movement dynamic, what I'm doing in the movement, how that movement works, independently of my being able to do it, how does the movement work? What is it supposed to do? If I don't know that, if I don't have any understanding of that, I'm not going to ever be able to get very good. If I don't know the background, if I don't know why I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, and that's part history and part me, if I don't know why I'm here, I haven't figured that out. Yeah, I'm just exploring. Okay, you know why you're here. You're exploring. That's good. That's not a bad thing. You have to know. That's how you advance. You have to set goals and you have to work toward them. That's how you advance. That's how you actually get there. And finally, you have to keep trying. That persistence, showing up, here I am. That is what will carry the development. This is not knowledge-based learning. Once I know it, that's it. I'm done. No, once you know what you're supposed to do, now you have to do it. Oh, yay. Mm-hmm. All right. So I had several things that I was thinking about for class today. And I realized that something I haven't covered in a little while and that I need to readdress is some of the basic methods. And I'm very specific about what I'm going to do with that. So, stretch first, feet about shoulder width apart, bend the knees, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, open the arms, open the back, hands circle to the front, back around to both sides, up along center line, reach out, bend the knees, stretch through the legs, roll up through the back. Again, keep the shoulders down, reach the arms out, keep the arms slightly rounded. Again, one more time. And fingertips reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. All right. In my studies, one of the things that I learned early on is something called Wudang's 3 basic methods. Yeah. This is foundation work for the Wudang system that I learned. So the Tai Chi system, the Qigong system, sword, Wudang Tai Yi, not Tai Chi, what Tai Yi, and these 3 sets mostly encompass everything that we want to do or be able to do. No, not entirely. So we have, and I'm going to do this easy, and I got to go this way because I have to step. I'll do it the other direction in a minute. We have dragon step, coiling snake, and creeping snake. Okay? Each of these takes a bit more effort than what I've just put out. All right? I said I'm going to take it easy. I have not warmed up to do, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but I have not warmed up to do what I would like to do right this minute, so I'm not going to do it. Dragon step. Coiling snake. Creeping snake. Each of these moves goes all the way to the floor. Yes, they do. Right? And they're all lively, meaning there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of spirit, shen, jinshen, energy and spirit, jinshen, in each move. the dynamic dragon step, circle, pull this in, and punch. 3 guesses what I got over here. Right? There is no question what I'm doing with this hand. There is no. There shouldn't be. If there's a question, the move is not correct. What's that? I don't know. Well, I could. It'd be over here. Right? It's here. As I step, my extending leg, that's a kick, right? Kick, set, and twist. Twist. Not that much. It's there. You would feel it. You would feel it. It's not exaggerated. It's not overdone. It's just there. With coiling snake, we get more twisted, right? Twist. And keep twisting. Keep going. I'm not doing that today. I will do it eventually. I have other recordings where I've covered these 3 methods, and I did get all the way down. It goes all the way down, it comes all the way back up. It twists. Spiral. Coiling snake, or excuse me, creeping snake. Here. You're on the ground. Should be. This transfer takes through the leg, back to the ground, and this comes up. The physics here, here. This is turning, right? This keeps going. If my fist is up here, I can't keep going. Right? Each time I have to come around, pay attention. Yes, I am paying attention to that elbow. Right? Come up. Back. Cover. Come up. Knowing what I'm doing in the movement matters for my being able to actually do it. If I pay attention to the requirements, not the extent of the movement, the requirements, or creeping snake, on my right foot, bend the knee. All my weight has to be on the right in order to extend the left out. I have to be able to support my weight and sink down. So I can't be too far forward because I can't sink down, right? And it's pretty much on one leg. As I set my extending foot, it's going to turn just a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. And I bring my hand out across and up so that I'm now on my other leg, right? So I started on my right leg and I extended my left leg and I went through the move and I come up on the left leg. This takes a lot of mid-body strength. So mid-body right here. It takes more work through the upper body than through the legs. And I know that seems, I know, but if you're supporting your upper body and your torso, with the torso, not with the legs. So you have to really suspend above the legs. Bring everything up so that the hips are fully open, the waist is tightly pulled in, the abdomen, the big muscles in the abdomen are tightly grouped, not tense, but pulled in and well supported, so that your whole body is well supported. That gives you the flexibility to do something else with your legs besides carry your weight. That's the goal. Anyone who has studied dance understands this intimately. Okay? The leg work that dancers do, and I did some in my time, is dependent on being able to carry through the body, not depend on your legs. Okay? Spins and turns on point can't be done if you're carrying your weight on your legs. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Suspend, pull up. That is foundation for dance. It's also foundation for what we're trying to do here. Because without that ability, without that sense of pulling up through the whole body and being able to support the torso without the legs, right? If I'm sitting and if I'm sitting here, right? I don't have my legs under me. I should be able to sit straight, right? Depending on how stretched out my legs are, I should be able to sit straight and not have to worry about whatever my legs are doing. They can just be there. It's fine. Okay? Pull up through the torso, shoulders down, arms at your sides, right? It's hard to do. It's harder than it sounds, right? That recognition is also something that we need to pay attention to, all right? I should have been able to get up without using my hands. And not today. I know how, but I haven't practiced that. And as I've gotten older, I have to recognize what my abilities and my limitations are. If I had spent the last, for this one, it's probably about 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, regular practice, working on this particular set, I'd have it back. My hips would be sore, but I'd have it back. I may do that, I don't know. That experience that lets me know how long it's going to take me to regain some skill that I had and I want to get back. Do I want to do that? I haven't decided. I might. Understanding that. Maybe that's my goal. I don't know. Maybe not. Right? That's one way that I would motivate myself. Say, all right, that's my goal. That's what I want to do. What do I need to achieve that goal? Here are the things that I need to do. Let's get started doing them. Each time we set a new goal, each time we define what we're going to do in practice today, we create the opportunity for developing something that we don't have and that we could use in our next practice. Today, I worked on Wudang's 3 basic methods. Just a little bit. I didn't do very much, right? I didn't. Dragon step, right? Dragon step. Here, nice and easy. Dragon step. What did I do? What am I actually doing? I'm going to do this again. And because this is part of today's lesson, actually, here. What am I doing? All right? Each time I step, check my leg. Extending leg. Where's my leg? What am I doing here? This leg should be parallel to the floor. Okay. Not a problem. What about the other leg? Let's see. Yep. Okay. And it's not so much a swing up as it is a kick. So, hey, there we go. Each time I'm checking what I did, what I should do. That correction? Not so much swing the leg as it is bring it up and kick. Okay, up and out. Not, okay, this one, that's a nice ballet move. It's not what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You can see in my hand movement what the difference is. That's the geometry and the physics. How we move, physical dynamic, how much force my leg goes out with, physics. How much am I capable of generating? Well, that depends on practice. Also depends on good body alignment. It also depends on everything else working together so that I can extend the leg and kick. Right? That is part of what we want to be able to work with so that every time I bring my leg up and kick, I am paying attention to what I'm doing in that move. With coiling snake today, I was paying attention to how much difficulty, how much struggle do I have in trying to go down. More than I'd like. Part of that is that I'm not doing it. Part of that is I've gotten older. Oh well. But no, the biggest part of it is I'm not doing it. It's not what I'm doing. So it's not a skill that I have retained. Creeping snake, same thing. It's low and it requires both the torso strength and the leg strength, the flexibility through the leg to be able to do the move. It's not easy. It looks really easy if somebody can do it. I've seen people do it. My teacher could do it. His daughter could do it. Several of his students could do it. I was close. Back in the day, I was close. Perspective. Back in the day, there were things that I could do that I can't do today. There are things I can do today that I couldn't do back then. Both are true. That perspective is what I bring to my practice. And it's part of what I hope you take away from these classes. That perspective changes with experience, that we bring our own perspective to what we're doing, and that as we're practicing, we're developing a new way of seeing, we're developing a new perspective based on that practice. It accumulates over time. it's not all of a sudden now the realization or recognition might suddenly appear, but it comes through that regular, determined, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try my best to do things in a way that I know is correct, that I know I should do. Not just fluff, fluff, foo, foo, and bring in whatever. That's my Italian noodles and the Chinese noodles. You know, I like both, but I'm not going to put both plates in the same thing. Right? That clarity in learning gives us a perspective that we want to be able to use every time we practice. It's how we develop. Thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate it. I'll be back next week. Bye.